Hey you guys, it's Angela, and today's topic we are going to be talking about why you don't hear from the narcissist anymore. So I want to thank everyone who subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe for more videos. On this topic, on why the narcissist does not contact you or you don't hear from them, it's because you have to understand that at the beginning of the relationship with you, they had a motive. They didn't get to know you because they wanted to get to know you. They got to know you because they wanted to know your vulnerabilities, and they saw something in you. They saw some good in you. You might have had, a good job, nice car, just something going for yourself. Maybe you had a lot of friends, and even with that, you might not have a lot, but if you have a group of friends, these type of things attract a narcissist. But as you're with them, you realize that something is wrong. They might disappear sometimes and then give you an excuse on them getting a flat tire, or and these things might happen. They might have got a flat tire, but they also didn't tell you that the person that actually helped them wasn't their brother or their friend. It was a woman, another woman. So in the beginning of the relationship, they already have other supplies. When you meet them, they'll tell you they got out of a relationship, or they'll tell you a sob story, or they might even tell you that their ex actually passed away. And even with that, you have to be very questionable on these type of people. But the thing is that they start to disappear. And in the beginning stages, the excuses kind of, they kind of try to make up for the excuses. So they might, love bomb you, and you're kind of blindsided, right? Because you don't understand that they're actually being sneaky and malicious behind your back, because they really seem like honest people. Like they really, like maybe they're going through something in that moment. And even when you're with them and everything is calm, you still sense some type of almost not anxiety from them, but it's like their spirit is everywhere, like all over the place. Because one minute, they're love bombing you. The next minute, they're very quiet and they seem like, like they're in their own world. Then in those moments, it kind of makes you feel as if, this is someone that just, goes through stuff, and you're thinking that they're relaxing, but they're really thinking about their next move, their next plot on you, which is the scary part, because a lot of people are actually sleeping with their enemies, but you're not seeing it like that at that moment. And as the months go by and you start to see repeated cycles, they'll make you think that this is normal in relationships. Then, they'll do it again and they'll make you think that, that your relationship with them isn't as bad as other people. Or they'll tell you that other people aren't really happy, that they're just faking their happiness. And, with you guys, it's, you're their soulmate, and they'll do the same for you, whatever situation you're in. They'll tell you they'll do the same for you. And a lot of you guys actually know deep inside that they won't do it for you, but you just don't want to lose. You don't want to believe that someone can literally be laying next to you and texting someone else, or pretending to be watching, YouTube videos and something on their phone, or they're shopping but they're actually on dating sites behind your back, or taking the phone in the bathroom, or having multiple phones. It's always something with these people. They discard you, come back. They might come back and tell you someone close to them died, or their friend died, or their friend's in the hospital, and all of a sudden they're having this life epiphany where they're a changed person all of a sudden. So they do this over and over again. And if you deal with them for years, you realize that it becomes a pattern when they discard you. It's almost like they'll discard you around the same time, or around the same times of the year. You might get discarded like around the holidays, or you might get discarded before, after your birthday. Or they'll just discard you certain days of the year, and you just start to realize it's an actual pattern, and it's because it is. It's because they plan to do that. It's because they've been doing that for many years. Even before they met you, they already had a routine with different people. And if those people disappear, they just seem to replace them with other people. So every hole needs to be, it needs to be filled. I don't know if you guys have ever been around, had a narcissistic actual friend, because I actually had a narcissist friend. And when I was younger, I didn't really realize how narcissistic she was, but she would have a boyfriend, and then it would be like when her boyfriend wasn't treating her right, or it was like two narcissists being together, and she would just, go and cheat, and, this guy is the guy that's going to buy me clothes. This guy he just sends me money. This guy buys me food. This guy just, I talk to about my problems, because he's waiting for the moment that I break up with my boyfriend. There's girls that do this, there's men that do this, but most narcissists just take it to a whole nother level. So you have to understand that when you're getting discarded over and over again, there are other people that are filling in that void. And this is why they do it at the same time. If they have a pattern, there might be someone else who, around the time that they discard you, that time could be, their birthday or something. And if they have children with that person, and they're, playing games with them as well, those times they can, go around and try to pretend to be family men, just to make an appearance, just to put in a fake act, to make sure that everyone knows that, they're not a bad parent, because look at me, because they understand that people, most people judge you off of what they see, not what they know. How many times do we judge people off the street and we don't really know them? Sometimes there's multimillionaires walking around in regular clothes and wrinkled up polos and sandals, and you're judging someone by their cover, and they actually own the place that you work. That's why the narcissist fails every single time, because they go around people putting this persona in front of them, and then as soon as the party is over and the attention's not on, because they're not there for your kid, they're there for the attention. They're there to take pictures, to post them online, to look like, hey, I am a good dad, and right after that they'll start back with their bull crap. So this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this person doesn't care about anyone. When they discard you temporarily, there's never a final discard with the narcissist. But when you don't hear from them for a long period of time, that's because someone has fallen into their trap of believing their fake persona. They have made a whole nother character with this person. They're not even the same person they were with you. And even if they were to come back to you, they wouldn't come back to you as the same person. You will notice that their slang, the way they talk, maybe the way they dress has changed. You will notice that maybe they have a new hairstyle. Like, they never come back the same. So they don't look at people as people. They look at people as objects. So when you don't hear from them, it's mainly because you know too much about them. You've figured them out, and they don't have time for you to try to expose them. And they don't want you to slander them, even though they've slandered you. And the main reason is because they know that by you slandering them, they know they can easily manipulate others to not believe you and to make you look like you're the one that's crazy. But the thing is that they really don't care. They don't care if they get caught cheating. I mean, sometimes they'll even get caught cheating on purpose just to see the fear and the hurt in your eyes, actually. I've seen cases of narcissists that I know who have been married and then will sleep with their narcissist. Like, I know someone who had a narcissistic sister, and she was close friends with one of my friends, and she would always come around, and I never had an issue with her, and that was because I didn't bring anyone around, no males or anything. But she was very, sexual, gold digger. She even flashed her boobs at a police officer and was trying to hit on him. And she ended up sleeping with her own sister's husband, and she was like blackmailing him, taking money from him. And this is what turns the narcissist on. This is what they like. They like to do malicious things, no matter how bad they are. They're not thinking about their family or the fact that there's so many women that they could be with, but they'll do it right under your roof to someone closest to you. And the new supply doesn't know these things. So you don't hear from them because they're with a new supply that doesn't know anything about them. They don't know that they're faking a character. They don't know that they're actually reflecting who that person is. They're reflecting that person back onto them, just the same way they did you. So they don't want to hear the arguments. They don't want to argue with you. They don't care if you're hurt. And when you don't hear from them, it's just simple. It's either it's most likely because you figured them out, but then again, it's also shame. So a lot of times when these people leave and they think that they're doing so much better and they're so much confident now, they have so much confidence now, and it seems like they're in a competition with you and they're better than you, and it's like they had something under their sleeve, and they'll give you little hints. So when it comes down to the point where they are finally ready to go, it's like, surprise, like, I was giving you hints, but you didn't believe me, huh? Well, do you believe me now? And if you're like crying and you're upset and you're trying to plead with them, they're like, ha ha ha, this is what I wanted. So once they leave, they think it's going to be just, a walk in the park because they've already been plotting on you. But the universe has a really funny way of reflecting onto you what you do onto others. So the same way they reflect things to you, the universe is actually going to reflect their behaviors back onto them until they realize it. The same way you had to realize that this person was reflecting who you are, and they weren't being honest with you. They were being chameleons and really just being a deceitful type of person. You had to wake up from that. You are just so blessed and lucky to have woken up from that. You're so lucky to have been in a situation where you discarded them or they discarded you, because I mean, you can stop the bad karma that you were getting by dealing with them, because that's what it is. They were literally putting their bad energy onto you. You can actually flip this energy, get your energy back. This is why evil can never prosper. This is why there's always a fight between good and evil when you watch movies. All these characters, there's always a villain and there's always a good person, but somehow the good person always wins in the end. That's because you're able to look at who they are the way others can't, and you're able to actually now reflect who they are back onto them. And by you not speaking to them and you keeping no contact, you're actually getting your energy back. And guess what? You're giving back all the bullshit they gave you within those months, within those years. You're giving it right back to them. And when you do this, bad things start to happen in their life, because now the universe is actually reflecting that back onto them. You can't hide from it. They want to hide from it, but they can't. And then they do it over and over again, expecting different results, and it never works. But the narcissist has already chose their faith. They have already literally picked the bad side. They picked to be a villain. They enjoy being villains. They know that they're like very sinister. They know that they are like literally the Joker and all these villains and these characters. They know that, and they know that between good and evil, good is always going to win. And that's why they'll keep trying to be with you over and over again when you try to move on, because this is why they come back, because they know that you will get your energy back. And they'll start to receive everything that they dished out. They understand that pattern. That's why they'll even come back and they'll apologize to you. And they'll even tell you that they hope to be friends. They want to befriend you because they think that by befriending you, they won't get what they dished back out. But if you befriend them, you'll see that they'll get what they dished out, and they won't tell you the whole truth. So a lot of times when they don't come back, it's because they're going through so much turmoil in their life, and they know that if they were to come back to you, they have to bow down to you. So if you caught them cheating or things like that, you're going to want to maybe look through their phone, not have passwords or know each other's passwords. You're going to want to put, new regulations, or you're going to have moments where once they try to sneak out the house or do something sneaky, you're going to catch on to it quickly. And they don't want to have to go through all that. They don't want to have to go through having to prove themselves to you anymore, because you know too much now. You've went through too much with them. You figured them out too much, to the point where financially they might not be able to do the things. Some of them think that they can come back and start showering you with gifts, or doing things that they usually don't do, or things that they know you like. So if they know that those things won't work with you anymore, because let's be honest, the narcissist goes after the weak and the young, and there comes a time where a lot of the young ladies or young men realize that money isn't everything, and you also realize that you can take yourself out to eat. You can buy yourself the things that the narcissist gives you, but the way they treat you, especially when they're upset or when you haven't done anything, it's more painful than anything else. So they understand the pain they've caused you, but they don't care. That's why they'll keep coming back and keep coming back. But once they know that you're growing up as a woman or as a man, and you're starting to change and you're starting to grow, if they see growth in you, they don't want to deal with someone that they know is strong enough to grow. This is why they keep dealing with low grade type of people. And just because this person might be financially stable, that doesn't mean anything. Their mind, the way they think, is very low grade. So of course they're going to want to deal with someone with a very low IQ, who doesn't really understand life, doesn't understand really anything, or who was just as naive as you were at the beginning, But once you start to mature and you start to grow, they don't like growth. They like to do the same things over and over and over again. So they need to be around people who aren't going to question them, who don't want them to change, and who they can keep playing the same role over and over again, so they can sit their fat, lazy asses or their freaking snobby, ignorant looking faces somewhere and bother someone else. So this is something you guys shouldn't have to worry about. Don't worry about why you haven't heard from them. You should be very happy. You should be actually celebrating. Like, you should really go and actually throw yourself a party, even if it's with you, because these people bring bad karma to everyone they come across. And trust me, them leaving, also the reason you won't hear from them, it's because they'll always fill in those holes, but they'll always feel empty inside. And someone who feels empty inside and hates on everyone, and who is full of jealousy, is bound to fall, is bound to destroy themselves. And this is why you'll actually hear back from them maybe years later, like 5, 10, 20. My grandmother, she had a narcissist, I've said in another video, when she was 16 years old, and this person hoovered her when my grandfather passed away, like when she was in her 80s. She's in her 90s now. So these people they might not think about you, but when they finally go through something and they don't have anyone, if you were good supply, they will think about you, and they might think about reaching out again. But it's not to reach out because they care about you and how they left you and the fact that you had to get over them and get over what they put you through and the losses you had to take, the sacrifices you had to make. They don't care about that. They come back because they want you to feel sorry for whatever they're going through. And once they gain that energy and that supply, because that supply is all they care about, they'll go back to going about cheating and doing their usual routine. But the thing is, once you open that door, literally on the first day, if they come back that first day, if you talk to them, if you sit down just to have a conversation with them, oh gosh, that turns them on. You just did them the biggest favor of their life. Everything that they've ever done to others was just swept under the rug when you did that. And they definitely don't care about what they did to you. They don't care about anyone. So if they come back years later, months later, don't open the door. The best thing you can do to someone, the best revenge you can give to someone is silence. You know how much more it hurts for someone to be silent towards you than for someone to talk bad about you? Honestly, if you don't hear from the narcissist, that hurts, right? because you believe that this person will never reach out to you again after what they've done to you. But the sad truth is that there are snakes, they're vampires, they're out for blood, and they will come back even if it's years later, you know. But you have to be strong enough to put yourself first, love yourself first. And when that time comes, if you have completely freed yourself, God is going to bless you. Have a conversation with, you know, your creator, and just be thankful that you're alive and you're not in that situation. Because some people, when the narcissist goes into these angry, this rage, there's no telling what will happen. They will push you down the stairs and kill you by accident, which is really not by accident. They're very in the moment, very aggressive. So if you're not hearing back from them, it's because you figured them out. You see right through them, and they don't like people that can grow, and you're able to grow always, no matter where you are, no matter what situation you're in, no matter your age, no matter your ethnicity, no matter your beliefs. Put yourself first and follow your dreams always. A dream has no time, no limitation of time. It keeps no track of time. Work towards that every single day. And I guarantee you that by you giving yourself these affirmations every day, you'll also begin to not wonder why you don't hear from them anymore. But these are the reasons you haven't heard from them. And this means that you've made it out of that dysfunctional relationship. And I am so proud of you for that. So I want to thank you guys for watching my video. I hope this helped. And I wish you guys peace and love always. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more videos. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.